All right, we're live on the Fierce Fight Series podcast. This one we're going to be doing a little bit differently. Max Dudek in town from Battle Creek, Michigan, so we took the opportunity to go ahead and do this live right here at Fierce Martial Arts. Max, how's it going, man?
It's going pretty good, man. Long drive, 3-hour drive here, straight. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's going good. Good sky on the way.
Yeah,
Can't complain.
I know you guys said it felt like a lot longer of a drive this time than other times too.
Actually, it was pretty fast. Like, we thought we were like hour and a half, 2 hours out, and then we looked. That's when you called, and we was only like 45 minutes out. So it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad of a drive. Me and Ron got some chemistry.
So let's get straight into things. When was your last fight? When was the last time you actually stepped into a cage?
I think I'm terrible with months, but it was probably like somewhere like January through February.
Of
my
this year?
last fight. That was for my belt. I actually lost it heartbreakingly, But shit happens, stuff happens, and you just gotta keep moving on.
Right. I did want to ask about the belt. You've had a championship in MMA. Yeah. Skyler's obviously Skyler's currently the 145-pound champ kickboxing for Fierce Fight Series. What does that look like for you coming in as a former champ in MMA versus a current champ in another discipline?
Honestly, I just see it as another opportunity, man, to just put myself in there with somebody that I think is dangerous and someone that I respect. I respect any person that gets in the ring, but I'm here to do what I got to do. You know what I mean? And I love this, and I'm here to fight against the best. That's the only people that I can get. So I just keep bringing them. Like I said, it's like fights aren't gonna get easier. I'm just getting better every day. So come fight day, I plan on being the best version of me ever, and I plan on like just showing out. Honestly, like I love this stuff, man. I really do.
What do you know about your opponent? What do you know about?
I know that he's good. I've seen like 2 of his fights. I watched them, and like he's good, man. Like I don't know what else to say. He's good. Like he has some good punches. He has some good kicks and stuff. I mean, yeah, I think he's a good fighter, man. I really do. But I'm better.
The other day on the Fierce Fight Series podcast, Skilyer, and we had reposted this as well, had said that he really wasn't too concerned coming into the fight. Like he's not overlooking you, but kind of based like you saw the video.
Yeah.
Going off of that,
I hope he has confidence. Like I'd hope that. I'd hope he has confidence, but that's fine. Like he can feel how he wants to feel. Don't bother me.
Now, with that being said, obviously I don't want to give away too much of your game plan. I don't want him to come in and just flip things up in his training camp, whatever. I don't want to disadvantage you at all. But, he is a 145-pound kickboxing champ coming up to 150 to fight you at MMA.
Yeah.
But, is this a guy that you're going to want to stand with, or are you trying to take it to the ground early?
Hey, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. You know what I mean? If he thinks it's just going to be he's going to throw a jab and I'm trying to take him down, I've never been known for that. Never. So I think it's gonna be a great fight. I hope he's as good as I think he is. You know what I mean? Because I want to really showcase, because I ain't never been really able to showcase my skills, man. I went in there against the toppest dudes. My first fight was against a 4-year collegiate wrestler that was 3-0 at the time in one of the biggest venues. You know what I mean? And I went out there and I lost, but I went to decision, and I had a great opportunity to win the fight. Basically, I'm gonna say that I respect my opponent at the time. He's a good dude, and I like the people around him as well. I actually know I go to their gym occasionally, but I like for that camp as well. I'm not trying to get off topic, but for that camp as well, I just had a lot going into that. You know what I mean? I had a lot invested into that fight, so there was a lot with me. And I feel like that's really what makes me be able to stand with these people. Like, even at my worst, like I had just started. That was my first fight ever. And I was against someone I should not be in there with. And I mean, all he could really do is sit there and hold me. You know what I mean? And I'm out. Anyways, that's what I'm saying. Is I'm not one of those fighters that's just coming out here to wrestle. You know what I mean? If he he don't need to think about that. If it goes down there, if I drop you, like, don't think I'm just gonna let you back up. I'm about to finish you. You know what I mean? But I mean, whatever happens, happens. Like I can't sit here and act like I know what happens gonna happen in the fight, but what happens that day is gonna happen that day, regardless of whatever he feels or whatever's going on. Like the day comes, it's gonna happen. And I can't wait. It's gonna be great.
Right. Let's take a second and also, we don't have it with us right now, but let's look back to the last couple fights that you did watch. I'm curious, did you watch his kickboxing fights? I'm sure it was probably the MMA. Did you watch any of his kickboxing as well?
Yeah, no, I watched one kickboxing and then one MMA. I had to watch the one he lost. You know what I mean? I seen the one he won as well. No, I didn't. That's a lie. I'm not gonna try to lie. But I seen the one that he did with MMA. He lost the fight. I think he looked good in that fight, but um he just lost. Like he was on the ground and he was just content with being on the ground, which I can't sit there and blame him. Like that's how my first fight was. But but yeah, no, he looked good in the fights. I'm not saying he looks terrible, but
now,
everybody's good.
now his second fight was I want to get your opinion on that because I know a lot of people think if you go back and watch that fight, a lot of people think Skyler won that 2-1. Some people think
Yeah,
he lost 2-1. What would your opinion be going back and watching that as one of his future opponents?
I think he lost. I think he lost that fight. I think he gave up in that fight. So
Did you see any weaknesses in that fight, or even his first fight with Griggs, that you feel like you can exploit going into this fight,
you're talking about his first MMA fight?
first or second?
I only seen the second, so I see weaknesses everywhere in everybody. But everybody has strengths as well. But sometimes people's weaknesses are their strengths. So, like I said, I just see the give up. You know what I mean? So, if you're gonna, you got, you, I don't know, man. I'm gonna make him quit, basically.
Now, I also want to look
If you don't
with.
get knocked out.
I also want to look at a couple of your teammates. Okay, so the biggest one is Ron London. Ron's a guy
That's
that's
my
fought
brother.
on Fierce Fight Series quite a few times,
Yep.
or a couple times, excuse me. But he's very, very close friend of the program.
Yeah.
Um, but this is the first time you'll be kind of leaving your kind of comfort zone, traveling and coming
Yeah.
in to try to upset the hometown guy.
Well,
How do you feel coming into that role? And is it something you think like do you
hey,
feel any pressure from that, or are you just kind of smooth rolling here?
it's like, I mean, you can feel pressure, but I mean, that's just part of it. If you don't feel pressure, do you even care about what you're doing? So, I mean, if there's pressure, so what? I'm gonna have to deal with it anyways. So why worry about it?
That's
You
fair.
know?
Hey, so we're going to keep talking about this a little bit more. Just make sure you guys go down to fiercefightseries.com. Use code Dudek, Dudek. Make sure you guys get those. We have a special discount on there for you guys right now at fiercefightseries.com. So just a little bit more about the fight going in with Skyler. Like, talk to me a little bit about what goes into the travel, the preparation, because it's not like you guys are just going to roll out of bed, drive 10 minutes to the venue, weigh in, go home, rest, stuff like that.
Yeah,
There's a lot more in it for you.
yeah. I mean, I feel like I got a pretty good system down. I mean, this is my fifth fight now. I've had some experience, I mean, I had my first run. Like I said, man, tough shit. You know what I mean? Shit happens. I got tougher from it. Now I'm going my second run. I took a little time. And I'm pretty set up when it comes to what I'm gonna do for the weight, getting to the weight. I mean, I wrestled a little bit. I only started wrestling when I was a sophomore, so I'm not like one of those people that's been wrestling since they're 4. I grew up. I didn't have nobody telling me to put me in nothing. I didn't even know I'd ever be able to be in the cage, bro. Honestly. So like that's why a big thing about my first fight, like when I did drop that guy, it's like in my head I'm like, man, like this is real. Like I can actually do this, and that kind of like got to me. But yeah, man, I feel pretty confident. Like I'm not gonna miss no weight. I'm gonna do it perfect. I'm gonna do it my way. So and I feel like afterwards I should be good. Coming to the fight, it should go right. Nothing ever goes to plan, but I'll make it work.
Tell me about you and your background a little bit. Like you said, you didn't wrestle until your sophomore year, but um, like, how did you get from wrestling your sophomore year? How did you get linked up with Ron London, some of the other guys at your gym? Just
Man,
tell me a little bit about you.
hey, it's a long story, man. Like but fighting has just always been just a part of me. Not that I'm like angry. I'm a real cool dude. You know what I mean? I really am, and like I only try to push people to be better. And honestly, like fighting for me, it's just one of the coolest things. Like I remember watching the first event of fighting that I knew that was like something that people did. I didn't have no cable growing up, so I didn't really know about like no outside life. But first event I ever heard about was Mayweather versus Pacquiao. You know what I mean? And then everybody was talking about it, and they were showing me Pacquiao and stuff. But I remember my dad was the one that got me into actual MMA. I remember watching UFC. my first live fight I ever watched was Anderson Silva getting knocked out by Chris Weidman, and that was crazy. But ever since then, I remember I just was so into it. Like we'd be watching it, and I'd just be getting like so like I'd be biting my nails, like, and then I always loved it, but I never thought that I'd ever be able to do it. You know what I mean? So wrestling was my kind of way. I grew up kind of hard, like getting little tussles in the bathroom and stuff, and I moved to Battle Creek. I couldn't really, get into no trouble, so um, like for the year, I'm just stuck in my room. I like where I used to live. I grew up in Detroit, and so over there it's like really flat. I had a BMX bike. I could travel like 20 miles, and then like my school was like centered around like the whole community, So everybody you went to school with was around you. And so when I moved to Battle Creek, it's like it's a lot different. And plus, kind of like I said, more stuck in the room. But wrestling was my escape. Like sophomore year, someone got me into it, and like it was just something completely different. Like because I ain't never wrestled really growing up, and then it was like I thought it was stupid because when I first heard of it, I thought it was gonna be like WWE. You're gonna be able to punch somebody, you're gonna be able to choke them, and then they was just picking each other up and like putting them on the ground, and I was like, man, like I ain't trying to do that. I want to choke somebody out, and so that's why I never wanted to do it until high school, and that's when I did it. First year I sucked. I don't even really count that year, but I just kept working, man. Kept working. Was in the gym. Was there off season, and then next year, I mean, I was captain, and like I was actually had an even record, and my final year didn't go as great as I wanted. But I mean, what can you do with like 2 real years of wrestling against people that's been wrestling like since they're 9? But I like to wrestle. It's cool. You know what I mean? It's definitely shaped me. Like the mentality is what you get out of it. Like I was one of those people. I didn't miss a practice. Like even if like after each practice, I felt like I was about to die right before practice, but somehow I'm coming back the next day. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's one of the biggest keys in life. It's just like even when you don't feel like doing something, just go out and do it. And even if it's just half of what you normally do, you still got out. And that's what me and Ron do. Is we just work, man. We just consistent. We're there every day, and we're having fun doing it. And that's the key, man. It's like we're having fun doing it. We love everybody that's around us. We got a pretty big team now. Um, and yeah, it's a blessing. It really is the fight stuff.
How did you get involved with Ron London? At what point down the line? How did you guys kind of start getting together, training, stuff like that? And then talk to me about your gym growing from, even if it was just you two, who did it start with, just to where it is now? Because even now, we see the pictures on Facebook and stuff like that. Like you guys got quite a number. What is it?
Yeah,
Probably up to like 15 now.
yeah, we get about 15 to 12. You know what I mean? And like we go to other gyms still, and we branch out, just kind of like talk to other people, get different looks. But me and Ron, I mean, we've been training together probably about 4 or 5 months now. So I mean, it's been about 4 months, I think, 4 or 5. But we knew I knew him. I heard about him. That's where I heard about him first. And then I remember seeing him. I think we hooped. That's what it was because he came to play basketball with us because we had basketball Fridays. And after that, that was like the first time that I really got to meet him. And then I remember him. I remember the time I really knew who he was. I went to this place. He was in his garage, and he was just in there like sparring with this dude. And like they were sparring for probably like 30 minutes. And I'm like, bro, who is this guy, bro? And I remember that day, like like that's when I met Ron. And I mean, I kept telling him to come train with us, but he was iffy. I mean, he had his people that he liked to train with, and eventually he just came down one day. He liked the energy, and ever since he's been with us helping me, a lot. You know what I mean? He really has. That's my dude. He has a great experience. Ron's one of the greatest guys you can meet for real.
He's definitely one of the nicest guys I've ever worked with on the Fierce Fight series. But, um, obviously his first fight came last November against Ryan Stout.
Yeah, that
That was.
that's
Were
really
you there for that fight?
no, I wasn't. And
Okay.
that was right before he came to our gym. You know what I mean? Right before, and that's really what showed me because Ron he could be so much better than what he is, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. He could be so much better than what he is, but he just wasn't coming to practice and shit. And he didn't have a ride sometimes, but I told him like I'll come pick you up, bro. If you come to practice every day, I'll be there, bro. And like I said, it's been ever since we've just been getting work, and he's been. You can see the improvements. Like it's every day. Every day we've been working, and it takes time, but people are gonna see it tomorrow. He
That's
fights
awesome, man.
tomorrow.
Hey, so and that kind of answers my question. And go ahead.
My bad. But you said like the origin, like the start of the gym. So I mean, it started a little while, like 2 years now. We started, but like I was kind of going because I didn't have no guidance. Um, I had no guidance with the MMA. So I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to get a fight. Like I would box with my friends, but I didn't know how to get a fight until the only way I knew how was to go to a gym. But that was like I don't know. It was hard for me to do that for a little while. So first I just practiced by myself, and then I finally went to one. And I don't know. Long story short, we ended up with Alex Davison, and that was at the school I went to. I ended up getting on a coaching position for the middle school there, and me and Alex just started training every day, and then it ended up branching out from there.
So Ron first fight with us was in November. He came to your guys' gym shortly after that. Now, why now? Why is it taking so long to get you on a Fierce card? But why now? Why Skilyer Reed?
Because that's what came to me. I mean, uh, I was trying to get multiple fights, but this is the one that got through. So Skyler's the guy. And I mean, I've been. This is my. I feel like it's been a minute since I've been on a Fierce card because I didn't know about it. Tell Ron. I mean, then Ron came out here with him, and he just showed me, and I was like, man, I love the energy here. Definitely want to fight here. So that's why my first fight back is here. I mean, I love the energy here. Really do. You guys are great people out here. Really.
We appreciate it, man. We definitely love having you guys out. I'm excited to have Ron back on the podcast here soon. We're going to get him on. Probably follow him up next week. Should be a lot of fun. But once he's back in Michigan and everything, we'll get him a link sent and get him back on. But let really quick, last couple questions, and then we'll get you out of here.
Yep.
How are you feeling going into the fight overall? Like you seem pretty confident, but
Yeah.
like is there any like underlining feelings that and I don't want you to give anything away, anything like that, but like even just sitting here with you, like this is a little bit different because we don't get usually we do these online stuff like
Yeah.
that, but we're in person. Like your body language, like you're totally relaxed, you're not tensed up at all. Like you just seem like
Yeah.
really
I
cool coming
love
into
this
this
stuff,
fight.
man. I just love. Hey, you gotta do it. If you're gonna be afraid of taking the risk, why are you doing what you're doing, man? You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing this stuff because I love it, and it would be disrespectful of me to go into a fight just automatically assuming I'm gonna win. I'm not saying I'm automatically gonna win, but I'm pretty confident I'm gonna win. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I can be that, because I put in the work.
Well, I'm super excited to see it, man.
Hey,
I'm really excited
I
to see
really
this fight.
appreciate
This is probably
everything
the
you guys are
biggest fight
doing.
that I've set personally, so I'm excited to see how it goes
Hey,
and everything like
it's an
that.
honor to hear that. It really is.
Well, I know me personally. I always like to say this. I've got the most selfish job in the world because I get to set fights that I want to see front row. I
Hey,
just got
that's
to figure
cool.
out how to make money out of it.
Right.
So this is one
Yeah.
of those fights, man.
Hey, I appreciate that, sir.
Of
I really
course,
do.
man. Hey, last question. I'll let you take the screen solo. I'll get out of your way.
Yeah.
I want you to tell everyone at home watching stuff like that why they should come buy a ticket. Why the people that are your family, friends back in Battle Creek, why should they buy pay-per-view stuff like that?
Yeah.
I want you to take a quick minute or so. Just tell them exactly why they think they should buy a ticket for Fierce Fight Series on August 17th.
For sure. Hey, for everybody that's in Battle Creek or just supports me, it's it's just a way to show love. You know what I mean? Just I'm doing this for. I can't just do this for myself. This stuff's too big for myself. I'm doing this for the whole community, man. My little wrestlers and all them, and just the people that just want something. Just want. I want to show people there's stuff to be fighting for. I'm not just fighting for myself here. I'm fighting for what I want in life. And at the end of the day, that's what you gotta do as well. You might not have to get into a cage, but you gotta fight for what you want in life. You know what I mean? If you ain't gonna do that, you're not gonna get it. And this is my way to do it. So, come see it August 17th. It's going down. We'll see what happens. But we'll be there, and if you're not, you're square. And uh no, it's gonna be a great fight, man. I appreciate everybody that's involved with this, and uh respect to my opponent. I wish you safe, camp, don't get injured or nothing like that. So yeah, for you, just be ready, and don't pull out. That's the only thing.
All right, we're ready here. Fierce Fight Series, August 17th, live from the Arts Park in Newcastle, Indiana. Make sure you guys go on, use special code Dudek from this podcast, get a special discount on that. Make sure you guys, if you guys are from Michigan, get your guys' pay-per-views and stuff. Come support Max.
And it's
Dudek
only a
on this
3-hour
trip.
drive. So if you want to come see the energy in person, go for it. You know, just make the quick drive. That's for my family mostly. Love y'all.
Absolutely, man. Hey, Fierce Fight Series, August 17th. We'll see you guys then.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad.